to episode 11 of Penarrow Podcast. My name is Shane.
My name's Dean, and today we're joined by
Colly McDonald.
It's an honour to have you on, Colly.
Pleasure to be here, my friend.
Straight from the boy.
Yeah, we booked it well in advance and we got it done in the end.
He still has the tan and everything.
Yeah, that's the same colour from before I went away.
Always tan.
One was Electric Beach, now I can say I'm saving a fortune on sunbed, you know.
Have you been keeping good here?
Yeah, fantastic. Life is good, you know. It's nice coming home, seeing family, friends, clients as well, which is nice too, you know, so I'm happy out.
We've seen you just only had a photo shoot as well. How did you get on with the clients?
That was a big deal because you know as a coach yourself, it's ridiculously hard to get one person in shape. So to try to get 10 lads in shape at the same time was a challenge, but it says the challenges are what kind of makes us progress, and what can I do a little bit different from what everyone else is doing, you know. So took that challenge on. They all done great, happy with the photo, so it's happy days. Oh,
that's great to see. We're more like counsellors than
I say this all the time. It's like I'm a huge advocate of therapy, and I'm saying like I've done therapy too, and a lot of it I've been able to use them interchangeable skills with coaching, you know, because like you said, the successful coaches out there for me are people that have excellent people skills, you know, like because for me I think any coach can give a calorie deficit and give you a push-pull legs program and just check in with me, but how you are able to support people and their emotional needs but everyone's different emotional needs are essentially what's going to dictate the results then too, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to start off with when growing up. Were you always into fitness growing up?
So I would say yes. So I come from Coolock, as you know, down the road, and grew up with a single 17-year-old mother, and that came with obviously its own challenges, but the smart thing to do for most parents is put your child into a hobby, a sport, become one from like you lads, no disrespect to Ballymun or Ballymun.
Or the partial Ballymun.
But like the deprived areas, there's always kind of wrong avenues you can go down, you know. So my mother put me straight into hurling and Gaelic football, which that was the start of my, let's say, fitness journey. So yeah, I would have started and played that up until only 3 or 4 years ago, my whole entire life, you know, while doing the gym thing as well. So I think it's a massive benefit for anyone from any space to be playing sports, or not to be sports, hobbies, dancing. A lot of young kids still dancing now. It's great, you know.
Do you miss playing sports?
Get asked that question only recently. Like, for being such a big part of my life, playing GAA is the reason that gave me confidence growing up as a kid. It's funny that I don't.
You don't?
No, but I say I don't, but it's very hard to come across someone having a hurl in the hand in the boy. But a friend of mine says, "Do you want to go for a puck?" And I says, "Yeah." And the minute I held it, I was like, "I missed this." Hurling was my first sport, you know. So the minute I held it and started hitting ball, I was like, they actually have teams over there, but I honestly just don't have the
time.
I hate that saying you don't have the time. You know, it's not a priority to me right now, so I'd say that's more so why I don't play it over there. You
used to hate hurling skill, bro.
All my mates are soccer heads, like not many like our heads growing up there. Like that's fucking stick fighting.
I just remember this when you're hitting a hole and a shot another hole or something, you get a shock in your hand.
It's worse off again when you're just getting a belt in the hand and not holding the hole. You know,
jump up for the ball, post to lock with the hole again, your hand smacked out. Do you know if you'd had a few knuckles from playing the hurling?
Yeah, it's a mad out
I was playing goals as well in school hurling. I remember I making one save and I threw the hole actually in the air and actually saved the sliotar. I was like, that was deadly there. I saved the point like, I thought it was legal. That was a moment in hurling.
That was definitely the 90s because we wouldn't get away with that now.
That's my moment. Is that foul, is it?
Yeah, that's a child.
How were you in school? Like, when you were in school, was it more sport you're more pushed towards, or was it education was?
So I would say educational was, I wouldn't have been the strongest for sure. Like, you know, I would have struggled quite a bit, particularly. I only put up a reel up a few minutes ago. I was like, what are you bad at? I was like, maths. I'm not joking. I'm getting fingers out sometimes. I don't know how I do my finances for the business, you know. But sports is the one thing that, like, I definitely was just so attached to. Even when I went to secondary school there and I wanted to go to a school called St. David's because they played the highest level of hurling and Gaelic football, so I was like, have to go there, like, you know. So definitely it was the sports thing that more so than the education.
That's right to hear.
What was the thing that drove you into fitness? Would you say?
As in the gym?
As in the gym, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's going to relate to a lot of people, and it was more so insecurities about how I looked, you know.
Right.
So I was just like, and when us lads were growing up, like the gym actually wasn't even really a thing.
It was
Even like 10 years ago, it wasn't that much of a thing. You'd go like, you were always a big cunt.
Fact.
Nah, not at all. But like I was just like, do you remember when you used to go out on nights out years ago when I think Barcode was there and the Blackout was there? There wasn't actually many fellas walking around in shape.
No,
everyone was kind of, it wasn't a thing. And you see a big fella, especially if he was jacked, you'd be like, he looks different from everybody else.
Your friend.
Now, like it's like it's so booming now, which is great. It's just only getting bigger. Like I was in the gym this morning training. The amount of 17 and 16-year-olds and 18-year-olds on the gym. But like for me, I think it's amazing. Like they're in the gym. They're trying to get better. So sorry to just revert back to your question. It was more so an insecurity thing about how I looked, and then when I start going to the gym and looking better, you automatically start realising that it's not actually so much about the physical side of things, but when you're leaving the gym, how it makes you feel. So that really caught me down when I start going to the gym 7 days a week, which I don't recommend. Rest days are important, but like when you're missing on rest days and you want to go to the gym, it's like it's actually not so much the physical thing that I'm missing, but I'm not getting that feeling today of leaving the gym and feeling better about myself. And I always say that like effort feels good. Anytime you put effort into yourself with business, with training, whatever, it's a good feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's like you feel like at the start, I don't do that, it's a lot of effort, and always afterwards you feel great. So that thing is just like, use effort as something that might feel tough to do, but I know I'm going to feel amazing afterwards. It's going to benefit me somehow, shape or form, you know.
The mental side of it I think is huge as well. Like how it does make you feel afterwards, and even if you are like, say if you're feeling down or having bad days, you go to the gym, just takes it all away kind of for that hour and a half or 2 hours wherever you go for. Like,
couldn't agree more. Like I always say, like all the time, like the number one cure for like anxiety or depression, I'm not saying like I'm a doctor for this type of thing, but it is eating good food and training regularly. There's not, show me one person on planet Earth that has ate good food consistently, goes to the gym consistently, and they haven't got somewhat of a decent mentality. Do you know what I mean? It's when we're sitting around and eating, think about eating shy constantly. I have very bad food behaviours in the past, and that's when my mentality was at the worst. I'm sitting on the couch every night watching Netflix, not moving. The body's made to move, and we're not meant to be putting as much process shit into the system, you know. So I always say to my clients to check in, I was like, I feel great. It's because you're moving more and you're putting medicine into your body, and by medicine I mean good food, you know.
Even energy aspects straight away, they say, oh, my energy's up, well, I'm going to the gym and I'm doing more exercise, and you're saying, of course it is.
Of course, because and people that, let's say, not as educated us about, I think that doing all that effort is going to bring me energy down, and it does make sense from an outside perspective. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to have to do more, I have to get in the stairmaster. You're getting fitter, you're dropping body fat, your body's getting healthier, and that's why your energy's going up, sleeping better water. You're filling your body with everything that it actually needs, you know.
The real good stuff. Going into getting your fitness degree, starting off obviously getting your cert, because would you recommend it to people these days, young flits or young ladies that want to go and do it?
It's a good question. Yeah, so you probably see this day and age, there's a lot of people becoming coaches with no qualifications, right? And there's a grey area of coaches. Personal trainers need qualifications, being in the gym for, but there's online coaches that haven't got qualifications, which I think is just a little bit of madness, because there's people that just got in great shape and they just think they have to get everyone else to great shape. But you know, we went to actually the same place to get qualified, and there's metrics and systems you need to know in order to be able to actually help people, you know, that way. Like just even for an example, like hypertrophy or hypertrophy, whatever way you want to pronounce it, it's different from strength training and power training. Rep range are different, rest times are different. People don't know all these things. How are you going to help a broader audience of people if you're not educated on the manner? You know, like, I'm not going to come from a good educated background, but if you want to really excel in a certain area, you need to know the ins and outs of it to be able to really help people, you know. So I would say, if you want to become a personal trainer or an online coach, do the work. Do you know what I mean? Don't take shortcuts. Shortcuts aren't going to get you anywhere fast. You'll tell the difference between PTs that went and done the extra work and the ones that didn't, you know. And if you want to, again, be successful, again, there is no shortcuts, you know.
A lot of us have now YouTube working plans, and there you go.
Literally, you know, it can be frustrating, and I don't tend to try to get frustrated about what other people do, because that's not on my control, you know. But they don't realise how much they're selling themselves short, you know. The fastest way to get somewhere is slow. I always say, you know.
Were you always confident?
Never.
You just kind of grew on you, like, as you.
So I won't go too deep into it, but like I was bleeding fucked up as a child in regards to, like, I had abandonmentship issues from not having a dad per se. It's a very regular thing in like the Ballymun, Coolock area, whatever. And my mother, God love her, was just worried sick about me. Just how I was just like almost not far off being a mute as a child.
Right, yeah.
And now she looks at me to this very day and she can't believe the man that I am, and like how outspoken I am, and I can go and talk to people. And just took, like, again, a long time of putting consistent effort into myself. You know, it's like, you probably get me. You have me on Instagram. I talk so much about self-development. You know, like, and who you are.
Personally, I love it as well.
Exactly. It's like finding out who you are and how you operate, and then like it kind of grew in the sense of sports from a kid. Then I was still kind of very, very shy, and then the big thing that changed for me is reading books. And people would say, or anyone that's listening to this would probably say the same as what I used to say. I can't read books. I can't read 2 pages. And I'm like, I used to be reading books and be like, the man went to. That's the way I was, you know. Then before you know it, like, I have 50 self-development books under my belt now. And it's like everything, getting in shape, growing the business. It's just repetition every night. But the books thing really, because I call myself a growth mindset enthusiast. Fascinated by people's stories from shit backgrounds or crap areas, and have made something of themselves, and all of them have the same answer. They work harder on yourself than you do on your job, as they say. I always found that really, really interesting. Working on yourself. How can I get better? How can I evolve? How can I make my people skills better? How can I make my talking skills better? Do you know what I mean? That was really where my confidence began to come from, you know. And then I'll finish it on this note and say, in this sense, doing things that scared me. There was shit that I was like so afraid of that I never wanted to do. And when I started doing one, start doing another, I was like, Jesus, I'm not as frail as I think I am. Do you know what I mean? I started, like, it's a great term in a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck, called stretching yourself. So stretch yourself just a little bit past. We're not asking you to do monumental things. We're not asking you to run marathons. All we're looking for right here is, like, for clients, for example, then is like, right, you're on 50 and finished Stairmasters and you really found that challenging. But you ever get a client getting on to you, like, I'm after doing 20 today. It doesn't sound like a big deal for probably anyone out there that does Stairmasters up. That's a massive deal for them. That was a time where you're you have 5 more minutes to go, and you're like, your brain's saying, stop, you're finished. And that little time of building blocks of stretches are really what builds you over time. Do you know what I mean? So that's what kind of happened with me with the little building things, like over years of how things progress slowly, and just didn't want to stop that. Little bits, you know.
Just kind of comfort zone a bit more, like, as well.
And just again, just for everyone that's watching this, small bits, man. Like, nothing major. Like, you don't have to go, like, speak in front of an audience of fucking 10,000 people out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean?
Little things.
Exactly, small things.
I was heading back for clients of mine that normally don't do any fitness goals. So I set them heading back's coming up to 8th of June. So we set that as a target. So I have a few going to heading back as a little challenge, basically, as you said, just a little stretch metaphor.
Wait to see the message you're going to get off them people when they're done. Do you know what I mean? When they get finished it all. And
feeling great.
And do you know what happens off the back end of that? This is the big thing. All of a sudden then intrinsically they're thinking, what am I going to do next? Do you get me? That's what I'm talking about when it comes to that domino effect. It's like, when you stretch yourself, you're like, right, I'm after getting that done. It's like, what else can I do? Do you know what I mean? And that's called kind of figuring out your own full potential. I don't think we ever fully reach it as humans, because we're always going up with different challenges, but it's nice I always say it like this, because we're all into the gym and getting in shape, right? And that's something physical we can see, right? Your body's starting to change, your body fat's starting to come down. But when you catch yourself mentally getting better, so I'll give you like an example, like for example, if someone, I don't know, called you a name, and the old you would have been like, what are you saying? You want to have a fight with the person, you'd be throwing digs. And now it's just like, it goes over your head. That's a moment of growth. It's like, I don't let people like that faze me anymore, because I'm growing now. And that actually feels better when you catch yourself in a moment where it's like, I'm after excelling as a person. Do you get me? I get more out of that than I do actually out of the gym seeing myself, because it's actually harder. Do you know what I mean? Because we're humans, we're emotional, we're built certain ways. But when you start again doing that like deep work on yourself, and you figure yourself out, you can't let stuff on the exterior actually really bother you, because that's actually your choice whether you let that in or not. Now we're humans, sometimes it's going to come in, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It's crazy how quick you mature though, isn't it, life? I think it is anyways. Like,
remember when you're a kid, like my son Andy Carter,
someone said something, you'd be snapping, and then it's mad a couple of years later, just like, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It comes with age for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But give yourself a little bit of credit though, because some people, you know, I'm sure you know some lads or women that snapping their whole life.
They're still the same.
It literally, and do you know what it is? It's just from not doing the work. Like I always say, no one's an asshole on purpose. There's some trauma or something that they didn't work on, and they are the way they are for a reason. Do you know what I mean? But they're just so blocked up by it that they just don't see it, you know?
Yeah. Going into online coaching, obviously when you were coaching first, like online coaching, how did that come about for yourself?
Mad story, this one. So I was working full time, and the wage was just okay, but not enough for me to be like kind of progressing, let's just say, you know. But I was actually always obsessed with nutrition more than training, right? So I went back and got a nutrition degree and went back to college, got all that done, and it says, right, and during COVID, by the way, so I was like, in some ways COVID was a blessing for me. It's just how my business started and it brought me to where I am today. But the nutrition side of things was my plan originally. I actually got back into my Instagram, look at my very, very first post. I became like a nutrition coach, not a fitness coach. But my plan originally was, because I was still working for the GAA at the time, I'm going to go around and give chats to teams about nutrition, because boxing, football, no one talks about it.
I only got asked to go down, actually. My nephew's playing for Kevin, so I only got asked to go down and give a talk before their final.
No one looks in on it, and realistically it's the number one aspect that's going to make it excel in all of them.
Nutrition.
You have to have the skills, you have to do the physical stuff on the pitch. But like cars, it's what you put into the engine's going to make it run efficiently, do you know what I mean? Physically and mentally. So the original goal was, I'm going to go around giving talks to GA teams, charge £200 for a talk, and an extra £200 a week would be bleeding beautiful, do you know what I mean? And then I got one or two clients that just wanted nutrition training. Then I was just like, I'm a qualified PT. People want both. So now I'm a nutritionist and a PT.
Do so much more.
I put them together, and then all of a sudden then it just went from there, you know.
Was this before or after you started your own transformation journey for your fat loss phase? It
was after. So my own fat loss phase was before. So like I was always into the gym beforehand. It's funny how much I loved the gym and going there and the nutrition thing, and I never thought of being a PT or being an online coach. I just, like a lot of people, lots of cunts in incredible shape out there and don't want to be online coaches or PTs. I was one of them. And then it's funny how life happens for you. Started the nutrition thing, and then it all just started coming together.
Walking around with tree trunk legs all the time.
I got sick today. I was walking down the road and some little young bit in bun ratty saying, "Could you get smaller shorts?"
I'm going back to the boys.
I was just like, the mature me just let it go.
Laugh.
I had an answer in my head ready for him. I was just like,
I'll back you over the horn.
I was just letting it go, you know. I was like, whatever, you know, I'm going back to the boy tomorrow.
I'll get you when I'm back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So going on from that, you done a transformation with Mike Thorson.
Yeah. So it was 2 years ago. Like this week.
It's this week.
Literally 2 years ago. This week, which is mad. So that's how the boy thing opened up. So essentially, Mike was running his own challenge. I reached out to Mike and I DM'd him and I was saying, not in a million years, fella has 1 million followers, 2 million subscribers on YouTube, this fella's not getting back to me, you know. And I says to him, hey Mike, I says, I'm coming to Dubai in May, I'm looking for a transformation. But I says, at the time I was chubby at the time, had a bit of weight on me, I was bulking as well. I says, this is how I look now, but just so you know, this is how I can look. So I had a photo of me in my best condition, just so social proof is everything, right? Anyone could be saying this to this fella because everyone's played in his ear, I imagine.
Did sell on Christmas.
Literally, you know. And I says, if I give you a great transformation, can I come on your YouTube channel, show the results and train with you? Now he's in work, just training kids in school, and get a message on the phone. I picked up his Bing and a banner comes up, Mike Thorson and Dale. And I was like around the kids.
Keeping this.
I was like, no way. So I was in the middle of teaching the kids, and the kids went in, finished that. So very bravely, I voice noted them back. I didn't even send them a message.
It's a big way.
Yeah, I was like, hey Mike, how's it going? That sounds amazing. Yeah, so just let me know what's the next steps we need to take and we get it sorted. Then he voiced noted me back now. Oh, loyal fanboy, and Mike, watches YouTube for years and the whole lot, you know. And It's like watching his life and everything else. And so essentially got in touch with him and his team and got on the transformation and so forth, and went back and forward. And before you know it, I was there in Dubai for the first time on holidays, 10 days, meeting him. I was in a place called Train Beach Club, one you see on the YouTubes and everything else. And finally sitting with, like where I'm at now, it was back to me when I walk in, and I was just like, sorry, I'm cutting across the story, ex-girlfriend at the time, I'm in the car on the way down, and she's like, you nervous? And I swear to God, in my mother's life, I was like, are you nervous? And I was just like, no. And she's like, how? And I was like, in my mind I was like, what's he going to ask me that I don't know the answer to? We're going to talk about training, we're going to talk about food, we're going to talk about the process of him coaching me. So in my mind I was just like, it's not like I haven't got any answers. But then afterwards I thought about it, I was like, fuck, we should have been nervous, because like I forgot that like about 1 million people are going to watch this. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to say the right thing.
The YouTube video as well. In the link, you know. Exactly,
you know, and it's just like, but glad I didn't think about that before you know it. And now like time has passed, and friends with Mike now, train with him like the odd time at the news and leading a boy to eat with him the odd time too. It's a bit mad how life comes around, you know.
I was going to say that's mad. Like it's.
What I'd say about him is I'm not, people are saying he's probably one of the nicest dudes ever. That fella's a multi-millionaire, he's just top of the fitness game, and I'm not joking, that fella is as grounded as they come. Even moved over and all, he's one of the first people to text me and eat that and whatever, let me know. I wouldn't be friends with him at the time, do you know what I mean? It's just very, very genuine, you know, which is cool to see with someone up at that level.
Yeah, because if you were on for the likes of YouTube and all, it's good to see that he's generally not.
Literally, very chilled person. In general, just very relaxed. My mate asked me actually before I said we came home, he's like, what's Mike like? He's very relaxed, very chill dude. And the answer was, well, I'd be relaxed too if I was a big, handsome, shredded millionaire. I was like, that's fair.
It's fair enough, isn't it?
Very fair, yeah.
He's not wrong there.
He's definitely not wrong. It's mad to think though, but you went from going on holidays over there to being trained with Mike to basically say friends with Mike, and now you're living over there. Do you want to talk about your moving over to Dubai?
Yeah, of course. I was obviously scary as hell because when I was working full time and coaching at the same time, I was just like, I just done something just within my heart when I was there saying, I'm supposed to live here. I always thought about it. I used to say it actually, I manifested it way before I got on my channels to saying like, I'm going to move there one day. I've done cut across my own story, and I'm a universe guy. I'm a like big spiritual guy in a sense, but I used to always say to the ex, I used to say, I'm going to be on Mike's channel one day. At the time I haven't even got a big following now, but like at the time with like 2,000 followers, and Mike would only collab with 500k plus people because it's good for him, you know, or whatever. And I used to say, I'm going to be on the channel one day, and then before you know it, I was on it, you know, it was just nuts, right?
That's a big shaky moment though, was it?
Big time. But I manifested other stuff into my life which is going to correlate into what we're speaking about here, moving there. So when I was back at home, I was manifesting in the sense of where I'm going to live in Dubai, how my apartment's going to look and where it's going to look. And I could just always see myself in the morning having my black coffee, just looking over the Dubai Marina, right? I could see it. I could see it when I went to sleep at night time. And my mother's look, I could just so vividly see it. And I woke up in the mornings, I could see it so clearly then. I was like, this is for me. Do you know what I mean? It really, really is. And there's some big things that was happening in my life before heading over. So I was just like, right, so afraid leaving the full-time secure job. My granddad passed away not too long just before I made the move. I was raised by my granddad, so he was like father to me, you know. My dog Zeus, who's still on the front of my phone, he was only 5, and I'm not joking, still cry about that dog to this day, like, you know, like I'm not joking, just as I was going as well. Everything, and this is a universe story here, it was like the universe will always test you to you to prove that you want what you really want. So everything was against me. I was like, granddad passed away, I lost my dog, I had to leave my family and friends, I had to give up my full-time job, I had an apartment down in Clongriffin at extremely reasonable rent that I knew, because the homeless crisis in Dublin, I am not getting it. I'm going back to my ma's gaff if this does not work out over here. So all these things were in my head, and I'm not joking, when I was coming up to making the move, I was so anxious every single morning, right, that I was telling everyone that I was going, and I wasn't really fully booked, but I was going, you know, but I wasn't really fully booked.
You were going.
Exactly. And I just woke up one morning, as anxious as I've ever anxious been. I rang my boss. I says, how are you? I says, listen, I'm finishing up. I'm moving to Dubai in September. And she's like, oh, okay. So I'm really happy for you, whatever. Move mate, you know. And then straight after that phone call, I rang the letting agency. Hey, I'm cancelling me apartment. I'm out here. I'm moving to the boy. Burn the ships. There was no turning back.
No turning back then. You had to do it.
I had to go. It was done. But there was a build up to that for a couple of weeks before it happened. And within them few weeks, I lost my dog. I lost my granddad. And I was just like, everything was screaming at me, testing me not to go. But I call these tests from the universe saying, you prove to me that you want to go. Not that people had to obviously die, but you know where the concept is coming from, what I'm trying to say here. And I use that analogy for a lot of people saying, is this the life that you want? You're going to be asked to prove that. You know, and that's what the opportunities will come. When we talk about the property thing as well, something similar happens there too. But to get back to manifesting the existence, I don't mind sharing this. I'm a very open guy, like as in just, and I never always been very closed off for so many years. But now I don't mind sharing my story because I always hope that people, and we help them too. You know, so I remember like I was trying to get the apartment. Very, very tough to get a full marina view apartment. I was fucking paying for it as well, but they're tough to get, funny enough. With the, and I was relentless, so I was ringing all the agents and they're like, no, wasn't happening. And the ex was just kind of like, listen, don't be worrying about it. And I was like a little bit narky. I was saying, it's easy for you sitting there. I'm on the phone all day long and I'm trying to run the business as well. But I was just like, I'm a very persevering type of individual. I won't stop to get what I want to get until I'm going to get it. So one fella got back to me and he was like, I applied for the apartment. He says, listen, there's a waiting list of like 20 people. And I says, stick me on it. I says, anyways. He's like, yeah, no problem. And then the boy, you don't pay monthly rent. It's all in quarters, halves, or up front. You'll only get a monthly if you meet a landlord that'll do it for you, but it's rarer over there. And I had a bit of money boxed off before I went. And I was like, I text your man. I voice noted him actually in English there with agent friends up now to this day, funny enough. And I says, listen, if I pay up front, will I get quicker up the list? And he says, yeah, it definitely helps your chances, you know. And I voiced out him saying, I hope everyone else hasn't got one. It's called checks over there. I says, I hope everyone else got one check, and start laughing, right? So I was coming out of the gym one day and I got a voice note off him. I still have it. I still never forget it. In English, there's a Colly, I like you. I like your energy. And it's like, listen, you can have the apartment, but we want the landlord wants 10k more, but this is in dirhams, so it's about 2,500 euro more. I just said, give me it, right? So I knew the apartment, I'd seen it already, so I got the apartment that I wanted. But I remember the first morning I got up, I got my black coffee, stood there and I was looking out on the view that you texted me about.
You're not friends, you should have a look at it.
The view, I remember I looked out at the view. I swear to God, I more or less started crying because I was like,
that's a pity
that moment I was telling you about where I could see in the morning when I woke up and I could see it before I went to sleep. I was there, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I was there. Everything was in front of me that I ever imagined, because I truly believed in myself that I could go and get this. And like I come from the same areas as you, I was like, nothing gives us opportunity to go get these things. And there's just like, ever since them 2 moments, the mic thing that I manifested, and I manifested the apartment, and the exact moment of me drinking the coffee, looking over the marina and all. And then there was like them moments of talking about stretching yourself. It's like saying, right, Colly, what else can we do here? Do you know what I mean? But I just want to make this really clear. Manifestation is not, it's not magic. Do you know what I mean? You have to relentlessly show up for yourself and prove, like I says, to the universe or just to yourself that this is what I want and this is what I'm gonna go and get. And it mightn't come in a week, it mightn't come in a year, but I can promise anyone out there that's chasing that they want, it will come for you. You just have to be patient and show up every day. Every day. That's what people don't want to hear it sometimes, but it's, I mean, every day. There's no days off. And people talk about balance, right? And I do think balance is important, but not when you're chasing dreams that you never thought you could ever get before. When you get your dreams, start mixing your balance in. But for now, there's a time for working your ass off, you know? Man, story, even just saying it back, because I haven't talked about it in a long time, you know?
It's inspiring.
It is, it's inspiring.
It is,
And then, let alone, that's just moving over there, then he's after buying over there, aren't you?
Yeah, so
there's another
mad, because like, you know what it's like in Dublin now, it's extremely hard to get property in general. And me, like, even remember being in my mum's house, or even when I was renting down in Clongriffin, I was just like, I'm never going to own the home. It's make it so incredibly difficult, like in general, right? And little behold, like I have a whiteboard. I call it a magic whiteboard, no pun intended, because everything I've ever written on this whiteboard has come true. As I buy a property in Dubai, and like before you know it, like it's like I'm looking at it every single day. It's like not thinking too much of it or whatever. And then an opportunity came up to get a property, wasn't in Dubai, because I have a financial advisor now, and he was like, buy one in London. And I'm always like, ask your heart. I know that sounds like my corny to people, but ask that gut feeling, heart, intuitive voice, whatever you want to call it. I'm always speaking to that. That's how spiritual I'm gone now. I'm always like, give me the answer, you know. And didn't feel right. There was something about it that was just off. But I was asking myself, are you just being a chicken shit here? You're afraid to invest this money into something that, because it's scary, of course. Do you know what I mean? Lumping a serious amount of money into something that you don't know a whole lot about. And I didn't go with it, you know. And then not too far after, a month or two later, it was January when I got the property, another opportunity came up. And I was with a fella that I would say I trust. The opportunity was good. I liked everything that was about. Again, shitting to do it. And I was like, how does it feel, Colly? And I was like, it feels right. And the second thing was, I was like, the universe is offering me an opportunity here. Here's your opportunity. You're saying you want it. Like, how many more are you going to get? We don't know. But it's almost like, when are you going to be ready, Colly, to make this big jump? When's it going to be? Do you know what I mean? And I was just like, I'm in. Let's do it. Do you know what I mean? And now it's funny because we go make big moves in our life sometimes, and that was January. It's May now. I don't think about it anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like something that it doesn't matter what direction, big, small, whatever you're doing, you make it. We suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality, you know. And I was just like, now again, it's like that's a big milestone in anyone's life to get a property, of course. You know what I mean? And like, there's lads I know that are over there 5-10 years. It's not a competition or anything, but haven't got property and got it done and blade in a year and a half. It's mad. Do you know what I mean? So again, another one ticked off. Again, stretching yourself.
On to the next.
Exactly, my friend. On to the next, like, you know.
Another property.
I'm planning on having a few places gone in a couple of years, you know. That's the goal.
And the likes of online coaching, you're booming with online coaching at the minute. And what way would you put out coaching to clients in a broad spec, in like check-in ways and ability to speak with clients as well?
So the breakdown of how we can essentially do it. So they get a check-in once a week. I feel like what helped grow my business a lot, and I can't speak for everyone else because I don't know what everyone does, but anyone, I don't mind saying this on camera, I'll say it in front of anyone, I'm extremely good at getting back to clients. I don't leave people on scene ever. And when I mean ever, from day one of my business, business only a couple of years old, no one's ever been left on scene. And when I mean left on scene for more than a couple of hours, and again, ex-partner will be like, that's a bit unhealthy and all, but I'm doing something that everyone else is not doing. I'm showing up for these people no matter what, and you can't be expected to be a beck and call. I says, well, I am, and that's the service I provide. I'm there for them. I'm their coach. The only reason you don't get me is because I'm 4 hours ahead in the boy of my sleep, but they're going to wake up with a message for 4 a.m. off me in Ireland. It's 8 o'clock in the boy, so they know. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to have a next level service or business, do what other people aren't doing and show up more so in that way. Then sorry, that answers your question with regards to contact. I just tell them all, like, I have a few touch points throughout the week. You can contact me whenever you want. Don't care what time it is. Go for it, you know. And if you have problems, please, I'm not magic. I don't know if there's something up with you. Let me know. A good coach is what I call a problem solver. We come up with solutions for our clients. That's what we're here for. It's not just the field and training, but it is the field and training, whatever else. It's like, well, this is my deal on it, and I always make sure to say this. I put up a reel on Instagram just before I came in here. It's like 30 questions, like quick fire questions about me. So what would you be? So what would you be if you weren't a coach and instead a therapist? You know, and this is saying, like, that's so important. I always say to clients, because if you come to me and with an issue, whatever, and I say, listen, I'm more than happy to give me 2 cents on it, but just so you know, I'm not a therapist. You know, or I might say to a client, you probably should speak to a therapist or a counsellor about this. I think it's important for coaches to say that to people, because you said it at the very start of this podcast. It was like for sometimes my counsellors, so whatever. I'm here. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy to help everyone. But if it's something deep happening with someone, like very, very deep, because they do share that sometimes, you know.
You need to know when to.
As you know, you need to know your boundaries. You have to list. So I'm happy to give you a bit of information, or else. But I'm not qualified in this. Same when someone's injured with me, with a client. we delegate. I'm not a physiotherapist, and it's like, I hurt my knee. It's like, even if you showed me what's wrong with my knee, I couldn't fix it for you. I was like, I don't actually know. So go to a professional in the professional area to get a professional answer.
It's kind of like the thing is like stay in your lane as well. As
I think
coaching
so.
and nutrition as well.
A lot of people will go out and pretend that
you can give the wrong information as well if you're not qualified.
This is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? It's more so your fault. Yeah, do this knee exercise and then a wheelchair tomorrow. It's like, you know, so it's knowing your boundaries for sure. Yeah.
Obviously, the online coaching industry is better for people nowadays. Did you ever get a chance of coaching one-to-one in the boy, or is it what's it like over there for?
It's huge over there. Believe it or not, more people, even online coaches, are more on the gym floor than they are online. Half and half kind of. But I've noticed, I was like, I'm only coming over here just all online, and I've been offered one-to-one coaching by people saying, will you coach me in person? And I said no every time. Few reasons, obviously. I'm very, very looking for a high clientele, but my dream, part of my dream was always, I don't want to have to be anywhere for anyone at any time. That was my dream. I want freedom. I need my laptop and I need my phone. You know, and it's not that I don't care to do it, but that's my dream. You know, it's not yours, and you just have to. And if you always delegate, like what you said there, to, I know good PTs in the boy, so this fella PTs in person, I'm happy to push the clientele aside if I'm not what you're looking for. Don't be greedy and be like, oh, grab this, because like it says, it comes back to you anyways. Do you know what I mean? It's just sorry to answer your question, it's very big over there, on the floor. Is it? Very big. There's a lot of people I see.
Even the likes of nutrition over there is very big as well. Like, not the aspect. Just talking about the boy for a minute, living over there, the mentality versus Ireland. What can you see the difference? Like, obviously what we see online, social media and Instagram, it looks like it's more business wise and everyone's over there being productive. What would be the difference in your mindset from living here and living there?
I have a good answer for this one, and it's, the boy is so different from what people's perception is from the outside. More like, obviously people think it's massively pretentious, like people go, it is to a degree, but it's not as much as you think it is, you know. It's like how do I explain? So everyone's over there, 85% of the boys expats, foreigners, like from all over the world. Only 15% are Emiratis, so they're the local people there. So everyone is usually over there trying to get better in any way, shape or form, no matter what area you're in. But what I love about the place is there's no, like, honestly, there's no begrudgers. There's no one like, why does he have that, or why is he doing this? Because everyone is so concentrating on their own shit. They haven't got time to be worrying about your shit or what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? And it's amazing. And then the online coaching aspect of it, it's, for me, because that's the industry I'm in, it's even better. So like when you're struggling with something, you'd be saying to one of the lads, this isn't working out for me. They'd be like, well, I'm after doing this, try that out. Do you get me? Or if you're doing good, so I have a lot of close online coach friends, and I'd be doing something really good and it's working real well, I'll send it on to all of them. Try this, boys, this is that working extremely well for me, whether it's part of the service, whether it's a challenge or whatever it may be, or running your challenge or your marketing in a certain way. Everyone actually shares. It's not all about me. Do you know what I mean? And that's amazing, because I don't like to be sounding unpatriotic about Dublin and Ireland, but it is that way. Do you know what I mean? I live here my whole entire life. There's not a lot of people happy for other people, unfortunately. There is some, but there's not a lot of it.
I don't know. Like, we ever a homeboard or?
No. Me and my mum had this conversation only a few days ago. It was always within me. Because I lived in New York and I lived in Boston as well before. This was like 7-8 years ago. But there was always something within me to
travel,
branch out. Well, I know in the kind of the history of my family, I'm like the black sheep of my family, like massively. But it's a good thing, do you know what I mean? As to be the black sheep, I always had this different way of thinking and so forth, you know.
Even the likes of team wise, you're starting to grow in team wise now as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I took on a coach as of recently. It's a challenge within itself, because it's like I've never had a mentor ever in coaching, you know, which a lot of people get them and they're great. I always say, like,
you can see them advertising now a lot.
Exactly, and they can help you excel, you know. But not that I never needed it, but it was like I just never felt like I wanted one. That I wasn't ever struggling enough. I'm a mad weirdo. I'm like, I just go by what I feel is right. I don't copy anyone. I honestly feel like I'm an authentic bloke, that I don't need to go do what everyone else is doing. For example, I'm only really getting, I got a videographer over there. I'm only actually starting to make video content now.
How are you finding that actually? The videographers.
This is mad. So people would say to me, like, especially over there, how have you grown your business so big with doing zero video content. Go on my page right now. I want to actually share this like on my own page at some point. Go from my first post up until this week, I have zero videos of me talking. None. And they're all like, how did it look after your clients? We are like, listen, the content matters. I'm doing it now. Do you know what I mean? It all matters. But what are we? We're coaches. What are we trying to do? Help people get results. That's all I cared about. That's all I done, and that's how I grew.
Needs to be number one priority beforehand.
100%. And this is why I always say so many people are coming content creators and not coaches anymore.
More marketing.
Exactly, and your marketing matters, of course, but like I can guarantee you, I think my income of clients is like 80% referral. People that I've worked with and are happy with working with me, you know. But sorry, to answer your question, the videography, it's good. It was weird at the start because I didn't do too much. We'll talk on my stories sometimes, but I wouldn't actually make videos. But having someone for you to make the videos and do all the extra work is very convenient. And it's like, sorry, again, I'm cutting across myself. What I was trying to do is that, like I said, I'm an authentic person. Everyone's doing, do these 3 tips to grow your biceps. Everyone's doing, these overnight oats. It's like, I don't want to talk about that. I'm a growth mindset guy, and I have a message to share to what I feel is right. And I built my whole business on what I felt was right, and what I'm sharing now. And I've loads of them done already that I still have to share. This is just what I felt in my head. It's just like I didn't see anyone else do it. It's just like, this feels right for me, and hopefully people will correlate with it and they have, you know.
Yeah, that's great to see.
So what's next for Colly?
What's next for Colly? Good question. I should have it planned and I don't. I'm not going to have this conversation. I'm real, lad, so I'll tell you, even as of now, I met up with a client yesterday. He's a photo shoot client. He brought a videographer and done a few bits with him yesterday in Westside too. And do you know Chris Williamson?
I think I know.
Podcast that brilliant. He's a really broad mindset guy too, and so forth. Went to see him in Dubai, and he was doing a talk with James Smith. 2 of them were talking.
James Smith's
very good. But Chris Williamson blew me away, and he used this term that really stuck with me. It was like, most successful people and that, like millionaires, whatever you're doing, that doing great, are stumbling forward through life. I was like, sometimes like people look at me and I'm in the boy and I have it all figured out. I don't. I'm figuring it out as I go along, and that's the truth. And I think most people are doing that. For example, the big huge photo shoot group, that wasn't a thing that I ever had planned. All of a sudden then it came up and then it was happening. The property came up, then it happened. You figure out things as we're going forward. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what's next, you know what I mean? So it's just like, once you're coming out, I always like reflecting a little bit. Am I a little bit better than before? Am I in a good place here? That's the main thing. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing in particular I would say that I've hit some big goals this year, which I'm so grateful for, you know, and it's just like, we'll evaluate and go as we go, you know.
A new one as well for his jumping on podcast as well. Thanks very much for coming on our podcast as well.
Thanks for having me. I must thank Ciara Rossi for getting that goal. Ciara's a Dublin coach herself. Girl's smashing it. She's doing incredibly well, you know. And that came about because, again, me just sharing who I am. I post a lot. I'm not sure you follow me, about gratitude. I practice gratitude every day. Haven't missed a day, you know, about 550 days. I write down every morning what I'm grateful for. I signed date to have 6 full books, and I'm gonna do it till the day I die. But I just started sharing it on Instagram, and then I became like almost like the gratitude guy in a way. People kind of think of me when they think about why you're practicing gratitude. And Ciara wanted to get me on a podcast and just express about gratitude and how it helps you and how can people do it and so forth. And I was shitting. I remember doing the podcast. I probably sound very confident here on this podcast. I was like, I remember getting on Ciara's one, and I was just like, never done one before, and these ones over the boys, big cameras everywhere and the whole lot, like, you know. And
that's why I said sorry for the shit.
Like this.
Mate, fair play to you, great setup. That's not me, like, from the same place as you, and like it is though. Sometimes people love that because it's authentic again. Do you know what I mean? It's homey, it's relaxed. They're having a go. Actually, feel more relaxed here more than the other ones. Do you know what I mean? But then my therapist James, he was visiting Dubai, and same thing. He's going to jump on and talk, and that was a scary one too, because I had to be very open. I didn't have to be, but very open about my trauma and my pain and my hurt. But I was looking at it all the times like, this is who I am, you know, and I'm happy to share it, and hopefully people will see it. And they will get help from it. Do you know what I mean? So
that's the main thing I think in life in general, isn't it?
Literally,
sharing their stories.
what feels better than giving? Is there actually a better feeling?
Like you always say in my coaching, like you see when the client gets like something from you helping them, it's that feeling alone is the big difference.
And that's in every aspect. Do you know what I mean? It's something small and something so grateful for it, and it's just
anything, even opening a door for somebody, it's not happy. It's
100%.
I done that.
Especially small things.
Anyway. So you're home when you're back home to the boy.
Was it Thursday?
Long flight ahead, is it?
8 hours, yeah. Do you know what's nice about the boy? It's not Australia. Do you get me? It's not a day away. So like when I was coming back home, the flights are the flights are the same year round. So I got up in the morning. My normal day, I was done cardio in the morning. Got on the flight at 2 o'clock, and you land in Dublin at 8 o'clock. 4 hours ahead. So I got to bed that night, and it's the same. I'm up the next morning. Do you get me? Now I fly home to the boy now on Thursday. I think the flight's at 3 or 4. I land in the boy at 12 o'clock at night. I'll get into bed at 1 in the morning. I get up next day and it's normal again. So you're home in a day. It's not a big deal, you know.
Yeah. Another thing I was going to ask you, how's that runner as well that passes you all the time?
It's mental that you ask me that, because I'm not on the Marina Walk anymore as much, you know. And I've seen him only literally last week. It's nuts you asked me that, and I've seen him, and he's obviously still doing it. This fella's about 70, probably all that, in a mad tank top, like wife beater down. He actually takes his top off and runs down the road. It's illegal, you're not allowed to walk around the top off from the bike. And the beach is obviously, of course, not. You can't put in like suburb areas, no tops. He doesn't care. 170, doesn't give a shit. He's going literally 1 mile an hour. But fair play, he runs the length of it and back. But funny you ask me that, he's seen him during the day, he just gives you the little.
Like a fella Pat, you probably wouldn't know him. He's a Norwich lad. He trains up in West Side too. Pat, you know, a fella with cancer and everything. He's actually going to come on this podcast at one stage. He is
very good.
But he has cancer and everything. Just be going to chemo and just be going, when he's done chemo, straight into that gym and training.
What a mentality, you know.
It goes to show. It doesn't matter. That's the point I'm trying to make. It goes to show any age. It doesn't matter. Like, you can still improve yourself.
Yes, more times than not. And I love sharing this as saying about like the excuses that you make to yourself. You know, you're lying to yourself. Even me, like, I'm human, I make excuses to myself sometimes. I'm like, you're being soft with yourself there. Let's be realistic, like, you know, in a way, like, there's areas in your life where you can't get shit done, and that's fine because it's actually genuine. But I'm trying to share that with clients of saying like, is that really? Are you really just not just making excuses? Be honest with. I always say in my gratitude journal, I write 5 things I'm grateful for, and I also write 5 affirmations. So like, this is like convincing your subconscious mind if you are who you say you are, you know. So like, I am successful, I am like a good person or whatever. But one I write down every day and it never comes out is I am honest with myself. You know, because you can lie to yourself, but you know you are. It's that gut feeling saying to yourself, you know, if you talk to someone or you're meant to do something you didn't do it, it's like you're lying. And I always try to follow that voice as much as I can of saying, being honest with that, and it's going to direct you in the path you're supposed to go, you know.
Detroit can finch you. Well, I
think that's a wrap.
It's been a good podcast with John, Colly. Thanks very much for coming on.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks very much.
Appreciate having you on.
Yeah, legends, lads, legends.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.